Which one is your favorite?
Oh, gee, you know, that's almost like asking a parent who's his favorite child. I think I love them all. But maybe I like Spider-Man a little bit better.
Spider-Man? Spider-Man is hands down my favorite superhero. And I wouldn't be surprised if many of you thought the same. Spider-Man is a transcendent hero in the face of superhero pop culture. Spider-Man was initially created by Stan Lee and brought to life by Steve Ditko. Spider-Man has always been a hit with children and young adults. One thing in particular Stan loved about Spider-Man was his costume.
He is completely covered, so any kid could imagine he's Spider-Man.
But what makes Spider-Man so special isn't his amazing abilities, but his relatability. Spider-Man isn't too different from you and me. First idea came to Stan when he was riding in a room and saw a spider in the corner. This made him want to make a character with the ability to climb walls. Next, he had to come up with the character's personality, so he came up with a great idea.
And then I figured, just for fun, I'm gonna give him personal problems. Then I thought I'd make him a teenager, because there were no teenage superheroes that I knew of at the time. So armed with all that wonderful material, those great ideas, I ran into my publisher's office and I told him. This was my reaction, the reaction he gave me. Stan, that is the worst idea I have ever heard.
Stan was rejected and Spider-Man was left to die, with another comic series at the time that seemed to have the same fate. Spider-Man became the fastest selling comic book hero for Marvel at the time, and The Amazing Spider-Man was soon to print. Now, that brings us to Spider-Man's latest adventure, Spider-Man No Way Home. No Way Home was an excellent Spider-Man movie and had the precedence to not only feature one Spider-Man but three. In this movie, Tom Holland's Peter Parker is brought through the ringer and is faced with some of the toughest decisions he's ever had to face. For the first time, this Peter Parker has hardships to deal with. You see, in almost every iteration of Peter Parker, his life sucks. No, like, his life actually sucks. Peter Parker is not Superman. He's not this otherworldly powerful god. He's an average person with average problems. Sometimes he can't afford things, sometimes his suit is torn, and sometimes he runs out of web shooters. This isn't because the writers just hate Spider-Man, it's because Spider-Man is his best when he's sticking to basics, helping the little guy as well as standing up to huge threats. And Peter doesn't have any obligations to do any of the things he does. In most series, when he's introduced, he actually tries to use his powers for greed.
The Amazing Spider-Man!
My name's the Human Spider.
I don't care, get out there.
No, he got my name wrong.
Get out there, you moron!
Now let's circle back to Tom Holland's Spider-Man and why I love the ending so much. In this movie, we finally get to see Peter lose. He loses his Aunt May, he doesn't get into MIT, and all the villains are on the loose. At this point, giving up seems to be the only option for Peter, but it isn't. Until he meets the other Peters, he gains the courage to fight back and make change. After he sends all the villains back, he's faced with his final tough choice. A choice that leaves the entire world with no recognition of Peter. Only Spider-Man. Now with this new reality becoming his own, just like every other Spider-Man, he does what he knows best.
Like a spider and he looks like a bug. Well, we should all just give him one big hug. Look out.